Okay, after I scan the artwork at 300 dots per inch, I save it as a JPEG, which I should save it as a bitmap, but I'm lazy. I'm used to saving everything as JPEGs. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I open PaintShop Pro since I can't afford Photoshop, and I begin the cleanup stage. And there's a neat tool called the Color Replacer tool, and I use it to erase my pencils and to make the blacks 100% black. I wish you could just one-click fill the page and get it over with, but I haven't figured that part out yet, so I just make a big brush and start clicking away. The clone brush is pretty simple to use. For erasing the pencils, I set the foreground color to 100% white, and the eyedropper, I eyedrop the background color on my pencils, and then I start clicking away to make all my pencil lines white. And you may have to adjust with a tolerance level to get the best results. That way you're not erasing not enough pencil lines, or that way you're not erasing your ink lines too. So if I do make my blacks 100% black, I do the same thing, except for I set the foreground to 100% black, and then I drop my ink lines. After I get rid of the pencil lines and make my black lines 100% black, if you zoom in, sometimes I notice little gray dots all over the white paper of the page. You can get rid of those dots and make your paper pure white if you use the fill tool and mess with the tolerance levels and just start clicking away and filling it white. That way you got like a pure black and white image, After that, I begin flattening the page. So first I duplicate my artwork, so I have a top layer with my inks, and then I set this top layer to darken, so that way it gets rid of the white part of the page, so that way you can see through to the bottom layer. And so the bottom layer has my original inks, like the top one, so I select all, and then I press the delete key, and that makes it white. And so that way I have a pure white canvas to put all my colors on. After I have my top ink showing and my background layer white, I start selecting away. First, I select the panels and fill them in. At this point, it doesn't matter what color, since I just want to separate the panels from the background for easier selection in the future. But I could save a step and do the color that I plan on in the end, but I didn't choose to do that with this tutorial. After the panels are flattened, I select the word balloons and white them out. I have the selection tool set to point to point. There's no way I could do it freehand. I don't have a steady hand. I like getting the basic panels and word balloons done, so then all I have to worry about is the art. This is also how I ink. Borders and lettering is half the battle. Once you get that done, all you have to do is worry about the art. And so now the art, I just start selecting away and toning. I choose to make the skin pure white out of pure laziness, and then I decide how dark the clothing and hair should be. If the colors are too dark, you could lose all the detail in your inks, and I don't want to do that. After I get everything flattened, I then go in for the second pass of color. This is the easy part, since selecting is going to be a lot easier because it's all flatted out. And basically I start the shading and the highlights. So I select the top lefts of everything and I highlight those, and I select the bottom of everything and start shading those. And there's two ways I could shade. I could shade either by just selecting the color that I think would be a good shade tone and then using the filter, or I can pick, like if I want to shade it, I'll pick black, and then I'll set the opacity to 10% and start clicking, and that way I can, if it's not enough of a shadow, I can keep clicking until it's dark enough. And the same thing with highlight. Click it on white, put it on 10%, and then you go to town and you keep clicking until it looks right. Alright, after the highlights and the shadows are all done, I basically just look at everything over one last time until I'm satisfied. I always find these little mistakes here and there, like re-veg. I could fix that, but I decided to make a whole nother page about my wife making fun of me for yelling re-veg, but whatever works. I'm the writer, so I can get away with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hunt for feedback every time I go online, so if you drop me a few lines, it's greatly appreciated. All artists are attention seekers, so please comment. I hope you enjoyed this, and at my slow page rate, you can look forward to this comic to be available in about a year or two. Good luck with your future comics. And don't worry about being perfect. Crank this stuff out and move on. Don't let artistic ability get in the way of producing comics. And I'm living proof. So keep drawing, everyone, and enjoy. Bye. Bottom layer.